Oh, does that mean I don't have any
Oh,
minutes I have to sign?
yeah, so we don't need to approve those because there wasn't a quorum.
Okay.
So we do need to,
Lois said she.
we do need
Lois
to
said that.
ones.
What did you say, Alexis?
Sorry about that. We do need to vote on February because there wasn't a quorum in March. So I apologize.
Okay. All right. So back to the February minutes then. So everybody's okay with how the meeting minutes look?
Yes, fine by me.
Got a thumbs up from Roberta. Darren, how about you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna have to move on and have those minutes approved then. Is this on TV right now too?
It is on the YouTube. Every meeting has to be put out there. That's why we had to redo all this, Tim. Something I wasn't aware
Okay.
of, but it will be on YouTube if anybody wants to see it, tonight or at a later date.
All right, we'll have to have a discussion at some other point about people not getting back on emails and about I haven't heard from some of these members for it's got to be 10 months with no responses to any emails. So that will have to be a separate conversation then. I did send out pictures of, if we can get into old business, I did send out pictures of the community maps. Did everybody see those that they're installed?
Yes, they're beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, they look great.
Ken, do you have any additional information on that? Like, did the price come in where we wanted it to?
Yes, yeah, the price come in under, because I think we were originally talking, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, Tim, I do apologize. I think originally we were talking, it was almost, oh geez, I would have to look at the minutes, but we almost got 2 for 1 with the pricing. It was a very good pricing when we did do the second one. It wasn't a whole lot more. I think it was additional $300 or $400 from the original quote.
I think it looks beautiful. Good locations too. Does
I
anybody
did
have any
drive
conversation?
by. I was just going to say I did drive by and catch some people, some residents stopping to look at them. So that was nice to see.
Oh, cool. Does anybody have any other comments on that?
Yeah, I went to the taco truck and I saw them right there. So it gets some good traffic. The one in Thompsonville. They look very nice.
Cool. That taco truck does good food too.
That it does.
Anybody else? Sensing none. Okay. Let's move on to adopt a spot. Since Roberta can't talk, but Deb can.
Yes, I can. I was going to ask Roberta a question, but looks like I can't. But I will give an update. So I want to thank Ken and Public Works for removing the signs of the spots that were no longer active or maintained. And I do believe there were a couple that were requested to be replaced. Tim, maybe you can help me out with this. I believe there were 2 on Phoenix Ave, or perhaps 1. Do you have clarification on that? Was it in Adams and Adams?
Oh, I don't. To be honest with you, I can't even recall.
Okay. All right. Well, perhaps Ken may recall. We did get a call back on one of them, and I think we're all squared away right now with the non-active versus the ones that wish to remain active. So we cleaned that up. I did know that Roberta was supposed to place a couple of phone calls on some locations, and we'll have to follow up at a later date with her to see if she did bridge contact. I believe there were 2 that were in question.
Okay.
The good news, I want to share some good news. We have 3 new adopt-a spots, spots that have been adopted. We have Girl Scout Troop 10761, and they took a spot on Phoenix Ave. It looks great.
Great.
Some plantings and pumpkins, and they sent pictures along. You're aware of that, Tim.
Yes. That's all. I thought that looked great.
And we have 2 additional spots adopted by Triano Oil, one on Hazard and South, and the other on Elm and Freshwater. So that was really nice. These were interested participants who reached out, and we were able to see them through. And again, thank you, Ken and Public Works, for the signage on them.
You're welcome.
Very good.
And then just an update on numbers. We do have 15 active sites now. Like I said, I do have 1 or 2 that are still questionable that I would like to follow up with Roberta on when we can bridge contact. And then we have 10 plus that are available for adoption.
Roberta gave you a
And
thumbs up.
Okay, and most of them are along Phoenix Ave.
Okay.
And I would just like to make a request. Lois has done a great job on the website, but since Triano Oil has taken the South Road and Hazard Ave location, we need to remove that from the available site listing. South and Hazard
Was that the
is
one
no
for
longer
Home Depot-
available.
when Home Depot used to have
No.
it? Oh.
Well, yes, Triano Oil took that one, and Triano Oil also took South Road and Hazard. There's quite a large island there,
Okay.
and that's the one that needs to come off the website.
I'll let her know tomorrow.
Okay, and that would conclude Adopt-A-Spot.
Very good job, Deb. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Darren, we got to get into clean sweep here. I don't know what that's going to look like this upcoming year, but
Yeah, I can't say that I do either. I mean, I think probably our best bet is, I think we kind of talked about it last year, and then everything just kind of went to heck. But you know, we could run something without a sort of central gathering point. You know, and sort of, you know, create little family pods or team pods that would go to different spots around town as opposed to one central location. Obviously, we'd still have to give them somewhere to dump it, but you know, that would be more staggered than everyone kind of meeting up at one time to get their equipment. Something like that. I mean, that could be the model anyway if we want to do it.
right. Well, hopefully by Earth Day we'll have some better information. Is that going to be our plan this year, to try to do it around that time frame again?
That would be my ideal, yeah. Somewhere in the Earth Day weekend of April.
Okay. I did send out invites to everyone that I could find that had the high school community involved. I forget the class. It's community
Action Learning.
That's what it was. They built a Facebook page, and families did go out, because I've been going in there taking a look at the pictures. So that might be an option like that, how they did it. But I was very proud of the kids for, they had to submit their idea for it. And they asked me to write about the importance of community involvement and their project to get approved. So that's how it went forward. But I'm really proud of the kids for putting all that together, and the teachers.
That was a great project. I think it took place November 1st through 7th.
Yeah, they ended up
And,
adding a day, I think, but I think they went an extra day.
And I keep seeing pictures.
Yeah, that was
posted too from that
good.
week.
And that was real. That was really nice to see, especially since we couldn't get out. And it was really nice to see the kids come together for that.
What were you saying, Alexis?
Well, I saw some more pictures coming in today from over the weekend.
Oh, cool. All right, does anybody else, Darren, you have anything else to say about clean sweep? Like, do we need to be thinking about shirts? I don't even know what we got. Did our
I don't-
orders go in last year?
Yeah, I don't think at this point we do. I think we're probably better off, sort of a wait and see approach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you go with the smaller groups, we could pick up at multiple locations. So, if that's something, we're willing to do whatever we need to do to help you guys out.
So you're saying just if we do that, instead of having a dumpster, just they'll have them stack the trash bags somewhere?
Yes, trash bags, or we can have the clod go in multiple locations. We probably wouldn't be able to do a dumpster unless, dumpsters are sometimes difficult for us now where you have limited availability, but we could pick up at multiple locations.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else about clean sweep? Okay, since none, let's move on. Ken, can you fill us in about the budget? I mean, it's been a long time since we met. So.
Yeah, your budget, it hasn't been touched other than Garden Club. I believe we cut a PO for the Garden Club. They were going to try to do some fall plantings in spring. And I believe and correct me, Alexis, if I'm wrong, I believe their budget is $2,000.
That's correct. They didn't use the whole thing just for fall plantings, did they?
No. They were looking to split their money because in the past they thought they could only spend it, at once. And I'm not even sure if the receipts came in or yet not, but they were going to split it up between fall and spring. I'm sure they do a lot more in the spring.
And Alexis I'm sure she got paid for last year up until we couldn't meet.
Yep, up till March.
Okay. So this is really our first meeting in this fiscal year then. Right? Ken, is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm still fairly new with this. I think I've only sat in one official meeting, or maybe two with Donald. So what I don't have for an answer, I can find out for you. But you do have a substantial amount of money, to think about spending. I know there's some talk, and I just heard briefly today about it. They were talking about some community project about planters for around town, actually on houses and stuff. So, and I really don't know anything else about that. So I'm not sure what the talk is. It was an idea that somebody put out there, but it was secondhand information, and it was a brief conversation. But I don't know if you guys have any ideas, or I would think about things before we have another meeting. So keep it going for this, for spring, and hopefully it's an early spring.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's spring right now.
I'm taking it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, so why don't we all just think about some ideas for our next meeting now that we're getting used to this virtual meeting. And maybe Ken could check on that, the planters that might have been brought up.
Yeah, I'll see what, like I said, it just happened today, but I will see what the talk was, but it was something about the planters around towns, maybe in people's houses, and very vaguely, even might be on some rental property trying to spruce up, probably mostly Thompsonville, but
Okay.
I'll probably have some more information on that for the next meeting.
I
Okay.
know from another commission that any of the town funds for committees and commissions can't be used on private property or businesses. It can typically usually be just on town property. I just thought I'd share that because some of the applications and grants and stuff that come from the state, they don't permit anything to be done with tax dollars and things of that nature that come specifically for these types of committees to be used on private property. But I mean, if it's town property, I think it makes sense and be nice.
Yeah, I believe you're correct on that, Alexis, that you can't be on private, but
but it's still a good idea. I mean,
Okay, does anybody,
it's in the parks or something.
does anybody have anything else about budget? Any questions or? Okay, sensing none. Is anybody here from the garden club? No. Has anybody heard from the garden club?
They had reached out a few months ago about funding, Tim. That's the last we heard of them. And I'm not even sure if they were invited on the invite for this meeting or not. I'm not really sure of the email
Okay.
chain.
Okay, yeah, me neither. Okay. We can move past that. Under new, it says under new business, wait, what?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to add for the garden club. I'm sure they did some fall planting, so maybe we could reach out to them and ask them to like send pictures. We can put them on our website or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Any problem moving on to new business? No. Okay. Is there somebody here from Cultural Arts? Because it says on the agenda, new business.
I think it's from one of our old agendas.
Okay. Does anybody have any new business they want to bring up under either new business or miscellaneous?
I do not.
No. Okay. Well, that's a pretty quick agenda. I am glad to see that everybody's doing well. I'm glad to see some people's faces, and definitely hear everybody's voices. So, I don't, Ken, do we have to give them much notice to make sure we can always have the meetings like this until we can meet in person?
Well, the thing is, Tim, Tuesdays are normally tough. If you'd probably be better off doing a Wednesday. That's probably the most open night. Something we like to try to, schedule in advance. You want to, if the second, Wednesday of the month works instead of the second Tuesday, would probably be easier for scheduling and not, any conflicts with the Board of Ed. Because, Monday's usually council, or every other Monday, and Board of Ed is Tuesday. So
I actually conflict with other ones. I have prison the second Wednesday, and then historic district on the third or fourth Wednesday.
how about
So
the
that
first
would leave us
Wednesday?
First Wednesday.
What Wednesday would that leave us then?
I don't know if the first Wednesday works. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody would be fine with meeting like this on Wednesdays, on a Wednesday every month.
I'm good with the
Does
first
anybody-
Wednesday. I don't have any meetings then.
Deb, how about you? Does that work for you?
That works.
And Darren?
It does, just knowing it's only 3 weeks away. So are we going to have anything to really discuss in 3 weeks, or yes or no? I'm not sure.
Well, I was gonna suggest, because we have budget planning coming up again already. So maybe ideas on, stuff to do in the springtime that we can start getting approved, and then items that we want to do the following year, so we can get our budget in. Ken, do you know when budgets are due for the next fiscal year?
Well, we're trying to stick with, the $8,000 budget. Well, it's actually a little over 8,000 for the extra, but we try to stick with that same number. Hopefully we can get that through. There will be talk about budgeting, and I'm sure there can be, the money that's in there can be spent before, July 1st. So we, you do have to July 1st to spend the money. And, I would say is try to keep the same, amount that we have right now, because they never go up, and let's try to keep it from going down.
Yeah, we typically have to itemize, what we plan to spend it on the next year for planning purposes. So I know in the past when we haven't done that or missed the deadline, the budget was cut significantly. So we want to avoid that happening again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to. And Ken, would you be able to reach out to Jack and see how much he might need for flags or buntings for this upcoming year?
Yep, I'll gladly do that. I'll be speaking to him next week because we'll be having the flags come back down because we put them up for Veterans Day. But
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I know we had gotten approved some flags at the town hall. Over at the Enfield Street Cemetery in the back there's a large flagpole that doesn't get used. I don't know if you remember why that flagpole was put way over there.
I'm not aware of there even being a flagpole there, Tim. I haven't been into that cemetery for a while. So I'm not sure if that was put in by the town or who it was put in for, or put in by.
Yeah, it's a huge aluminum flagpole. So I was just wondering, because if it's owned by the town and we're not going to use it there, perhaps we can look into about it being relocated to a spot where it could actually be used. And then we could certainly get a flag for it.
Yeah, I can, let me look into that because like I said, this is the first I know of it. And if it's something that we can, move and use somewhere else, we'll have to make sure it's somewhere where we can get some light on it because we need light on the flag.
Yeah. So if you pull into the Enfield Street Cemetery and go down to the last paved road portion, and then go all
We're losing you.
over to the left. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if it had something to do with when they were going to put the Purple Heart Museum over there.
Could very well be. Yeah, that project's been dead for quite a few years.
Yeah. Does anybody have any other things they want to bring up?
Tim, the only thing I had, and I could probably write it up before, as far as budget purpose and the Welcome to Enfield sign that's on the 190 as you come in from Suffield, there was some large bushes taken down. I don't know if that's something you guys might want to look at, spend some money to really spruce that area up. There's some low overgrowth bushes there now. But like I said, it's been overgrown. Bushes kind of had to be removed because they were beyond trimming. So I don't know. It's something to think about. That's all. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Is that the one that's come over to Suffield Bridge? It's on the right before the underpass?
Yeah, almost underneath Pearl Street or just before Pearl Street. Yeah.
Okay. Take a look at that.
I was going to say, doesn't the Garden Club do the other Welcome to Enfield signs, the plantings there?
It does, but maybe they haven't gotten down to that spot with all the bridge work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that spot.
I don't think. I was just going to say, I don't believe that one is located or listed on in my paperwork. They do have the Long Meadow Enfield, and they do have the Summers 190 into Enfield. But I don't seem to recall. Of course, my computer's not up and running right now. I can't check, but I don't think that this one's listed as there.
I think they do the one from, I think it's East Windsor to Enfield as well. That one is in good shape. So
yeah, the one on 190. I'm sorry. The one on 190, they wouldn't have been able to do anything there with all the large bushes and the underground, the low ground bushes there. So there really wasn't no space for them to be able to do anything.
Is it a safety concern? Okay. Is there access there?
Yes, there is access there. It's probably one of the safer ones because it's set off the road quite a bit, and they could, pull right up on the grass to get off the road. Some of the other ones are actually really close to the road. So, but I think it had to do with the setup of the area. And if it's something, we would have to do something they want to take on, or you guys want to, we'd have to remove probably some more of that undergrowth there. That's, it's like low bushes, but I don't know how appealing it is right now.
We
Okay.
might want to make note and perhaps invite them to a future meeting.
Absolutely. Invite. We should try to get a December meeting in. I know it's only 3 weeks, but maybe we can get the garden club to come in or join me. Does anybody have anything else we should talk about before we adjourn this? I don't hear anything, so I'm gonna sense no. Does someone want to make
I'll make a
See if
motion to
Roberta can do
adjourn.
it.
and a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Meeting will be adjourned. I want to tell everybody to stay safe, and I hope you guys all have a great Thanksgiving. And we'll try to get the garden club in. Hopefully Ken can talk with Jack about any flags or buntings that they're going to need for next spring. And I'll send out an email. I think I'm gonna talk with Lois about the members who aren't answering. And we'll see where we go from there. I think that's it, though.
Thank you for the phone connection, Tim. Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you. Hopefully we'll get better with this with time.
Yes, yes. I look forward to actually being able to see you guys face to face at some point. So, anyways, I hope you all have a good night.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tim.
Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.